Welcome back to Talkin' Shit, where we are talking all sorts of shit. Schitt's Creek, that is. I'm Jess Sterling, and today we are talking about Season 6, Episode 8, The Presidential Suite. And as always, I am joined by someone who would definitely get a spray tan to look less pasty, Stuart. Stuart, how are you?
Never, ever would I get a spray tan. Pale is what I look best at. If I'm not looking anemic, if I'm not looking like goth, no. Just I don't do well with color. I don't actually tan. I just go red.
I do actually have a tan. If you can see it, if you're watching the video, I wear a watch, and you can just see there's a little line there.
I'm always skeptical about people that spend some time outdoors and they go, "Oh, look, I got a tan." For, like, you can see the watch marks. I'm like, no, you're just dirty. Just go have a shower.
I showered this morning, I'll have you know. Oh my gosh. But we're not alone today, though. We are joined by someone who could use a weekend away at a presidential suite. Trish, how are you?
Oh, how true that is. Yes. Hi, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me here.
We're so happy to have you back, Trish, to talk about this episode, which has some very funny moments and also some really, really sad moments.
Yeah.
Stuart, I of course have to get your opinions and your thoughts off the cuff here of what do you think of the Ted and Alexis breakup?
I hated it, but it was so good. Like, how can I come away with it with, like, this has been signposted the whole time, and I've been saying, like, I think it was like even towards the end of last season, I was like, oh, well, I'll see where this is going. Yeah, exactly. But I think the way in which it's been navigated has been so good in a way, and obviously how they handled it was just gold. Almost. Like, I kind of feel like if you're gonna go through that, I mean, go through it like that, be mature as hell, and think about actually what's best for each other in that whole situation. Doesn't mean I like it, though. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna enjoy it. Like, yeah, I know it's good for me. Yeah, I'll eat my vegetables, but I'm not gonna like them. This is sad. I want them to be happy and I want them to be together.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but to your point, Stuart, it feels very realistic. And what I love about this show is, as wacky and silly as it is, the relationships always feel like they're handled so delicately. And on top of that, Trish, it just feels like very realistic that, like, people say this a lot, but like, part of being in a relationship and making it work is timing. And unfortunately for Ted and Alexis, timing is just not on their side here.
Yeah. I mean, it's never been their day, really. They've always just had those short moments of time together. I do feel like, although this is obviously a permanent breakup, I think if Ted is ever back working in around that area again, and Alexis is single, then it's definitely it's going to be a forever thing, and that will be like, no, we're not saying goodbye to each other ever again. I always have that feeling in my head that that's something that could happen to them in the future. It just feels like that kind of a breakup, and as you say, very mature, especially considering how Alexis was like season 1 compared to now. The fact that she was able to sort of understand and know that sort of level of how to handle and know that, no, Ted, I'm not going to make you sacrifice your future for me. I couldn't let you do that. And that's such a change from where she was a couple of years ago in this show.
Yeah. Well, before we get too far down the line talking about it, let's give everyone a quick little recap in case they haven't rewatched the episode. I'm going to delay talking about Ted and Alexis, so let's instead focus on Patrick's awful spray tan. David wants Ray to do engagement photos for them, so he sends Patrick to the spa to make him look a little less pasty. Unfortunately, he asks for David's usual and comes out looking like a Cheeto. Yikes. Moira, Johnny, Roland, and Jocelyn begin cleaning up the new presidential suite at the new motel, and both Moira and the Schitts have the same idea in mind: a weekend away at the new location. Jocelyn and Roland want to get away from their subletter who they're renting to in order to afford the second mortgage. And Moira, of course, wants to upgrade their current living situation. Eventually, Moira and Johnny concede defeat once Roland proposes swapping mattresses. Absolutely not. We know that Jocelyn and Roland are in some weird stuff. So absolutely not. And we're finally here. Ted surprises Alexis by coming home for a long weekend, which gets delayed due to some bad milk, which I have so many questions for you, Ted. Unfortunately, the reason he's in town is to talk to her about a job offer he received. Taking the job would mean 3 more years in the Galapagos. And by the end of the episode, they agree to part amicably over a lovely dinner at the diner. And we all sob Stuart.
Where are we starting? I feel like we already talked a little bit about Ted and Alexis. I feel like that's like the A plot, really,
It's
isn't
the
it?
headline,
It's the most
yeah.
profound. So do we go presidential suite or Cheeto first?
Let's do the presidential suite. Mostly because I feel like it's like my least favorite of the 3 storylines.
Interesting.
It's not bad. I just it's just fine. Like I guess my argument is because I understand where Moira's coming from. She's like, this place is so much nicer than where we're currently living. I don't understand at this point. Are they not making enough money to actually just rent an apartment? Right? Like we know because we saw Alexis and David looking at that apartment way back when. They're like, oh my gosh, all of this for so little money. Like, can they not afford a place to live at this point? Right? Then they'd also be making income by renting out the room they're living in.
You would think so. I guess it's because, I mean, Alexis is looking for like, well, saying that they'd be sharing a room. I was going to say like Alexis was looking for like a nice little 1-bed place for herself, whereas obviously they've got like Johnny and Moira. Moira's not really in work, like she's doing odd projects, and I doubt she got paid shitloads for The Crows Have Eyes. Maybe more since Interflix. Maybe the residuals are coming in and she's getting money. But I think it's all part of this just ongoing cost cutting and like I don't know, a change in mindset for Johnny of just like, no, we are no longer rich, like we are frugal and we are going to continue living frugally, because I think they've had a rude awakening of just how quickly they can have the rug pulled out from under them. So maybe it's a good thing and a good lesson that Johnny has learned, one that Moira certainly hasn't learned. Moira's still the one that is clamoring to leave Schitt's Creek. So yeah, I think I attribute it more to that, which kind of makes sense. But then I think your point about, yeah, move out, get somewhere cheap, get someone that, you know, has actual facilities, and you could rent the room out, 2 rooms out, because I mean Alexis was barely there. Now she's a bit more permanent than she was. David has practically moved out, should be moving out soon, I would imagine, what with marrying someone. So it's like 2 new rooms. Like they could make some money on it.
Especially if they got like a 2-bedroom apartment, Alexis could live in the 2nd bedroom. It really wouldn't be that different than being in the motel room. She'd at least have a kitchen, like, you know. So yeah, it's interesting. I will say, Trish, I do think this presidential suite that they coin it does look much nicer than where they're staying.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just the square footage alone, and doors that aren't like threading through the eye of a needle. So that was the thing that got
Moira.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just all her stuff about the subtle, her not so subtle things about dropping hints about, oh, this room is terrible. All of a sudden, she's been living and coping with it absolutely fine for years, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's just not good enough anymore because she's seen what's better out there. It did look really nice. I think once they obviously put a lot of work in to clean it up as well, because we didn't see a lot of it before they started cleaning it. So
yeah, we kind of caught them mid post clean kind of thing, after a lot of bleach from Jocelyn going around. I will say like it, you say about that square footage of it, the lighting I thought was really good as well. It had like so many like lamps all about, and I was like, this is looking pretty cozy. I was like, this is elevating a little bit. And I think Johnny's got a point as well about the whole like kind of preserved 60s charm of it, is that it was very, I don't know, like I've not watched Mad Men. Shout at me later, I don't care. But it was very Mad Men looking like style, I thought.
Yeah.
And, like Johnny in the suit kind of really suited it. Like when they were having their little dance together, I was like, vibes. I absolutely could see this. In my mind, I was like, this is a penthouse. They're at the top of it. There's like the city below, and they're having this nice little dance to some smooth jazz. I was like, Johnny, player.
Yeah. Johnny's JFK impersonation cracked me up. And then his argument with Roland about what are you doing, Roland? Like, in no world is JFK from upstate New York. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you... Oh God, awful. It was awful. I think one of my favorite, there's a few Moira-isms that really got me this episode. One of them being her mention of her gritty feminist police drama, Miranda Rights. Gives such Drag Race vibes. Like,
there's
so
gotta
funny.
be a drag queen called Miranda Rice. Like, I must be able to find it.
Yeah. She's so sassy that she went undercover into that wet t-shirt contest.
That just tells you the decade that film was made, if nothing else.
Yes. Yeah, it was so funny.
The way she kind of nervously covers herself as Jocelyn says it as well, as if like, oh my God, like Moira actually did it. Yeah.
And then my other line that Moira got me with is after Jocelyn and Roland leave, and Moira's like, "That's it, we did it, teamwork. We got them off the scent. We really want the place." And he's like, "No, I was serious." And I love, "Be careful, John, lest you suffer vertigo from the dizzying heights of your moral ground." Like, what?
I need to commit that to memory and use it in the
poetry.
future. It's so good. It's like, if you're gonna like lord it up over someone, or like have a go at someone for lording it up over you, I mean, that's the way in which you absolutely do it. A question I was going to go back to though, in the whole JFK thing, is that a common trope for guys in America to have a JFK impersonation?
I think what I would say is I think JFK is one of the more heavily impersonated presidents because he has such a distinct sound. Like, I think he is definitely up there, and because he has the famous quote of like, "Ask not what you can do for your country, or what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Like, it's just and it's Boston, so I do think like, yeah, he's a very impersonable president. I don't know the word, but you know what I mean. You can do an impersonation of him easily.
Okay. Because I was thinking about like what the possibly UK equivalent might be, and I was thinking maybe for us it might be Michael Caine, because there's often like I think most people have a Michael Caine impersonation.
That's Miss Congeniality guy, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well done, Jess.
Yeah, he's Alfred Batman guy. He's
Yes.
Alfred's Batman.
Yeah.
The Italian job is the one it's usually used.
I'm trying to think of what's the quote that you would say for him.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. That's the one that is always quoted.
That is my
my name is Michael Caine.
Yeah, there's a great.
He's never actually said, but it was put in a.
It's so funny how like so many of these quotes like kind of like throw things into like their mouths of like what they're doing. There's a great TV series film called The Trip with Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan, where they're kind of themselves going out to posh restaurants and then like filming it, and they're kind of somewhat in character as themselves a little bit, and there's a whole scene where the two of them are doing a Michael Caine impersonation back and forth to each other, like trying to outdo each other, and it's phenomenal. I would really recommend it, even if you're not a fan of like who they are or even Michael Caine, but just like them just one-upping each other, because they like start off and then they're like, but you don't do the emotional part where he breaks down, and it's like brilliant. But yeah, highly recommend that. That's all that made me think. I went on this like weird little tangent. It's just like, JFK, what's ours?
I was just thinking I'm not from there, so this could be wrong, but my other option as far as British, like well-known British people, was like Tim Curry was one who I was thinking.
Yeah, I wouldn't,
because I think you can kind of do him, right?
Yeah,
I was thinking something from like Clue probably would be what I would think.
See, mine would be, is it the video game?
I was thinking more
the video Red Alert of just because there was a video game back in the day with him, and they got him to do his lines, and he corpses during the delivery of one of them. But because they only had so much money for like only a few takes, they had to use
for
it.
Americans, that's breaks. He breaks character. We don't say
Yes.
corpses.
And-
No one will know what you're saying.
cracks up laughing, but it's like
Mhm.
he's playing this like evil communist guy, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the only place capitalism hasn't corrupted, space," and then he like cracks up laughing while he's delivering it, and it's in the game, and it's perfect. I think that's probably
Mhm.
the only quote that I really know of his. Are there more? Like Clue's good, but I can't think of a line from it.
No, I don't.
Wasn't he also Nigel Thornberry in
I think he was.
did you have
Yeah.
okay, I was
Eliza.
gonna say, do you have the Wild Thornberries?
Rah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm Nigel Thornberry. Yeah. Also the quote that I was thinking of from the guy from Miss Congeniality. What was his name again? You said it like 10 minutes ago and I've already
Michael
forgotten it.
Caine.
Michael Caine.
Thank you, Michael Caine. Is it's all in the buttocks. Don't I look pretty? When he's like gliding, you glide. That's one of the good ones. I don't know. There's a lot of them though. I love Miss Congeniality. I've seen it far too many times. But yeah, Tim Curry was the only other one I was thinking of. But he's just
That
like a
makes
very
sense.
common.
Yeah.
My husband is listening to us record, and he sent me a Nigel Thornberry gift going smashing because he all the time.
I was only
Yeah.
thinking about impressionable sort of leaders. It would be more like Margaret Thatcher or King
yeah.
Charles, because King Charles has got that sort of like sort of voice that
Yeah.
yeah. It's just
See,
your
my problem
face
is all
just changes.
all my British impressions sound this way.
Well, so do all my American impressions. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, world leader is definitely JFK is up there. Obama is one I think you could pretty easily do.
The only one I know about Obama is "That's what I do." It's sort of like that. That's all I've got as an Obama quote, I think.
Yeah.
And
Like that's the thing is like in terms of things they say, right? Like
Yeah.
Obama, I think you can do an impersonation of him, but there's not as many like one-liners
yeah,
versus like Bill Clinton, right? Like I did not have sexual
yeah.
relations with that woman. Like there's lines, you
Or
know.
like
Yeah.
Nixon, but like I'm
Nixon,
not a crook.
I'm not a crook. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
lines. Yeah. But yeah, I thought Johnny JFK was okay. Like I thought it was all right.
it's better than Roland's anyway.
Oh yeah,
Upstate New York,
100%.
my ass. Get out of here. What are you talking about?
It's the way you
Roland?
pronounce Cuba. It was as if it was like Cuber. It was like Cuba.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with you?
And then he tries to say Johnny's impression is FDR. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Ay. But yeah, I love Moira, like petty, upset Moira, just like smashing the duster around the room because she's so mad at Johnny. So
Yeah.
funny.
Vibes.
And I do think, like, first of all, I don't think it's a bad idea. Like, are they even open for business at this point? Like, I don't think it's a terrible idea that like Roland and Jocelyn get a weekend away and Moira and Johnny get a weekend away at the like presidential suite. I mean, if there's other rooms, probably not as nice as this one considering it's their suite, but like you've all earned a little weekend away. I
Yeah.
understand Johnny's point, but like Moira and Johnny have been living in a motel for like years at this point. And on top of that, Jocelyn and Roland are subletting a room in their house to like afford a second mortgage, Trish. Like, I feel like they've earned a little bit of a break here.
Yes, definitely. And I think there was just no beating the fact that they brought baby along with them. They were like, oh yeah, we'll just go sleep in the car and just like with a child. Like, no, that's not happening. It's like, at least Moira didn't decide that there's like, oh no, we've got better. We were here first rules.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised they didn't do the joke of like, oh, we spent Roland Jr.'s college fund getting this motel. It's like as if, you know, we've
That
seen
excuse will
Yeah.
come. That would like the excuses they keep mounting.
Yeah.
I do think the room as well, because like if it's not being used, if no one's booked it, if they're not advertising it, and it's them doing the work to clean it anyway. It's not like they're losing any money in staying with it. Maybe the electricity bill, because it does have a lot of lights, as they say, but and the heating for the shower and stuff, I suppose. But that's small things. When a hotel, I would have thought they've got it up and running, some of the rooms at least, because
they had that long-term tenant, right?
Yeah, so they've got, did it close down when they bought it, or was it still running? Because I can't remember now.
Yeah, because they kind of explained that the lawyer long-term tenant guy was like there, but I got the impression that it had been like kind of been cleared out. So yeah, maybe it was that like they were waiting to deep clean it before they can start selling it. And maybe like I think it makes sense. Obviously, you don't want to keep your best room booked like with your own staff. Like if someone turns up and goes, "I want the best room you've got," you want to be able to like rent it out, ideally. So like always keep that one like kind of prepped and ready. But in this scenario, like where it's like the first couple of days, you've not well, I suppose I was about to say you've not done an official launch, but we saw an official launch. There was
the
a very
ribbon cutting,
the
ribbon dropping.
taut ribbon.
Jocelyn saying that the bandana or the blindfold was taut sent me over the edge.
So funny. Like it was too taut.
Absolutely perfect writing to add that at the end. It's just like the cherry on the top of that little cold open. Definitely.
Yeah. Do you expect hedge clippers to be drawn from my purse?
Just a mental image of using cuticle shears to cut such a large ribbon.
I always feel so bad for Johnny because he's really trying to make this like a nice, fun, like, look at, we've succeeded. We've opened a second, location. Like, let's celebrate. And everyone is just like piling on to this poor man.
Yeah, Stevie was so done with it.
She was done, but she wasn't like piling on in the way everyone else was.
Yeah, I give her a little bit of a pass, but like Stevie's energy was totally like in the non-Johnny camp of that whole scenario.
Yeah, definitely. She was just like done. She just wanted, can we just get on with this, please? Yeah. We don't need any extras. Let's just, we're here. We are humoring you this far. That's enough for us. Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But it is exciting that they've kind of opened this location. And, I do think, let's be real, like Roland and Jocelyn probably could use a weekend away. So it's not the worst thing in the world for them to take their room for a few nights.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst. And I think it's also a good thing that, like, well, not a good thing, but like, I think the revelation that like they're subletting their place to justify like the kind of the mortgage and everything like that. I was like, that's quite a revelation. Like that shows that they are really sacrificing for this whole endeavor. And like it's one thing, I thought it was like a huge gesture to take another mortgage on their place to buy into the business, let alone having to do that as well to justify it with a newborn as well. I was like, crikey, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and we know they don't make a ton of money. Like they're not, you know what I mean? Like Jocelyn is a school teacher and Roland is like the mayor. Like they're not rolling in money.
/ maintenance guy of a fledgling motel. Sure. And like I think possibly maybe it's a kind of like one of those spare room ads where it's like, yeah, stay here, pay like half rent. But if we ever need a babysitter, like you know that Jocelyn's going to try that. I mean, she left that kid with like a complete stranger at one point. So like, what's a tenant like?
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is.
Yikes. Anything else on this storyline before we get into the spray tan of it all?
Not particularly. I mean, just the way in which they bound in and like interrupt things. I was just like, just as Johnny and Moira like being the most suave couple ever, and then all of a sudden Jocelyn just piles in with bags galore. I was like, the difference between these two couples couldn't be more stark. Like in this whole moment, I thought it was just nice to have a real illustration of that as close as they've become. It's like just forming that division. I thought
very different.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about the spray tan. So David, why David goes to Ray, I'll never understand, but he goes to Ray. Ray is showing, and this is me in front of a volcano, and this is me underwater, and they're all just like green screened. And David is trying to make the best out of a bad situation. He wants Patrick. He gives him a 5-minute scalp massage, which I did not know you could book so little time for something. Like, you just get started and it's over. And a spray tan. And I'm with Patrick. Like, I'm pasty. That is just my skin. I don't know why I need to get a tan for photos. And I mean, I don't know. Is there anything to his logic, Trish, where David has? I'm practically Sicilian.
You do sometimes notice that if like one person gets spray tanned regularly and the one person doesn't, it does make them look ill. Sometimes you can see. So
Yeah.
whenever it's a like you wanted a professional photograph of them to look nice. I'm sure David doesn't want the first question to be is like, oh, Patrick, were you not feeling well that day? So, because I've got the same thing. I'm Scottish. I have very, very pale skin. It's a trait in this country. My husband has more of an olive skin, so it does sometimes that if we're on holiday and things, he tans like in seconds, and then I'm in a shade, try not to burn.
Yeah,
but I
relatable content.
Yeah. I do tan eventually. I've spent quite a lot of time in hot countries, and I have discovered that I can tan eventually if I put on the right SPFs and everything like that. I have used spray tan. I don't mind admitting it. I have used spray tan. It can look nice. Patrick obviously just needed a little bit more education on the right color and the right settings and the right amount of times, because if you turn, well, we've seen with the Ross and Friends, isn't it?
Yes.
Doing the same side over and over again, it's going to get quite coated. And I would also say you do not go for a spray tan on the day that you're getting the photograph taken. You do it the day before, because you're not allowed to wash it off. You have to leave it on, and you do look orange, and then you have a shower, and then it's the perfect color. So this was wrong as well. The fact that he was sending Patrick to get a spray tan on the day of the photograph was also wrong.
Learning so much.
There you go.
Like, I would absolutely just be like, right, good to go, let's go.
I also think David could have gotten him, like, went to the drugstore and gotten him some, like, not spray tan, but like, what is it
little
called?
Santa Fe spritz thing.
Yeah, like fake tan. You just like rub it on like a lotion.
So it get really streaky and things, though. You want
well,
that even
David is
coating,
probably a pro at this by this point.
Oh yeah,
like,
probably.
I feel like or Alexis.
We know he's a pro at it. But, I mean, we saw, and it was a callback in this episode, the LA Vu incident. Like, was very kind of evenly distributed then.
Yes. It's just such a mistake, and Patrick seems so uncomfortable with it that it's like, don't ask him to do this. Like, yes, he's a little pale. Yes, he's a little pasty, but that's how he looks. And I agree with Trish that, like, in my opinion, you never want to make any sort of like appearance altering appointment the day you're getting photos taken, just in case, right? Like, no hair appointments, nothing, because you don't want to risk looking bad for them. That being said, it's Ray. Like, is he getting that many appointments that you can't be like, we'll see you in a couple of days once some of the tan has washed off?
Yeah.
We know he's not doing any heavy editing.
Well, he does have about 5 jobs though, so maybe he'd be busy with something else, and this was the only time he could fit them in for it.
I just feel like, maybe I'm wrong, Stuart, but I feel like I would rather have someone take photos of me on their iPhone than go to Ray and have them take photos of me.
I mean, Ray's photography is, you say, like, why are they going to Ray? Like, and I was going to be like, well, it's the only place they can go, right? But like, his aesthetic is just the last thing that David would ever tolerate.
Here's a mouse pad of Jocelyn.
Why would the mouse pads? What? Mouse pads have never been a thing.
It feels very 90s. It feels very 90s.
So 90s. Like, Ray peaked in the 90s, and I don't think has ever recovered from the fact that the world has moved on. Like, it's outrageous. It's just the whole, here's a volcano, here's a second volcano, and then Stevie being like, oh yeah, as bridesmaid, I'm gonna like say the second one, and it's like, yeah, you're like hanging on just by a thread there. Ray's whole vibe when David wants Annie Leibovitz like level photography. And I totally see the vision that he's going for, especially when he's like chucking out the tarp and stuff. I was like, that is Annie Leibovitz. Like, it's just this bleak, you can imagine, like he's picturing in his mind this like shadowy photography. You're not going to get that in Ray's like little office / photography studio / mouse mat emporium. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I feel for David, because I'm like, I get the ambition. I really get the ambition, but like, you're not going to get it, buddy. Like, you're going to have to settle for something, and like something is going to go wrong here. It was never going to go well. It was never going to go well.
I mean,
So
the
just why
photos
go
of
to
Ray, the photos of Ray uses as examples don't exactly look the best either, because it's like him in exactly the same pose in every photograph, and it just does look like he's standing, not even in
arms
the
at the
scene.
side and everything.
Yeah.
I do think, because I think that David, we saw him setting up like a scene kind of for them to pose. I think David would be way better off setting his own scene, having someone use an iPhone or like even a camera that he rents from like the school or something. Like, I think there's a way to do it without involving Ray and his poor decisions.
Oh yeah, I taking Ray out of the equation certainly is going to help, but I think just leaving David to his own things isn't going to help either, because I mean, you saw how immediately he posed by putting his hand down Patrick's throat.
What is your hand doing?
It's the two arms around the head as well. That was a bit like, what are you doing?
Well, he's just like a little baby. He's just swaddling it a little bit. I've got to bring this up. Like, I mean, we have to like observe this, right? Of just how bad this looks. Like, it's outrageous. He has no eyebrows. Like, they are gone. He looks. Have you seen
really
the old vine of the baby that's covered in chocolate, and it goes and it's like slapping itself and it goes, that's what this looks like.
It looks like he got dunked in a vat of bronzer. It's so awful.
Also the funniest thing I will say, in trying to find this picture, I did search Patrick spray tan, and of course it came up with SpongeBob as well, which is like so funny. I was like, because they look so similar.
Oh my goodness.
It was like, it's the same image. Yeah.
Poor Patrick.
So terrible.
It's the same picture.
He's so upset, and David, of course, still has them get photos taken, and they all look horrible. And I assumed these were for some sort of like wedding invitation or like a save the date, because they were talking about like sending them to Patrick's family and all of that. So you really don't, you really kind of want them to look okay at least. And is Ray going to be doing the wedding photographs? Like, I just ask because normally, at least nowadays, in my experience, our wedding photographer gave us an engagement photo shoot for free, like with the package. So usually there is like a sort of expectation, if they're doing the engagement photos, they probably are also doing the wedding photos. And I am so scared. Why is this what we're doing?
So awful, right? My friend got married seems recent, but like I've just realized a long time has passed. I'm like, holy shit, time is flying. But anyway, got married, and when they got their wedding photographer, they did like a couple of like photos beforehand, like as part of the package thing. And one of my favorite anecdotes of my friend was that he took the photo, turned it round to them, and goes, "Look, this is what you look like. Accept that," because it was kind of like you get so many people are just like so kind of like, not happy with the photos. They kind of have unrealistic kind of like mental perceptions of themselves. And he was just like, it was the most sobering moment of just having like a picture of you in like HD by like a really good photographer, just going, this is what you look like. This is
It's
the truth of
awful.
who you are.
doing photos is so, especially if you are awkward like me. Like, I'm not a PDA person. Like, I'm uncomfortable. And it's like, okay, give him a little kiss. And it's like, why? It's so weird. Like, stop. Ew. It's like so
Don't look at me.
uncomfortable. Yeah, stop looking at
Yeah.
me. It helped that we had our dog with us when we did our engagement photos. So I feel like he just automatically like lightened the mood a little bit, and we could focus more. We were very focused on trying to get him to cooperate with ourselves. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have them, I guess. It's nice to have those photos because we don't get ourselves photographed often. But you don't want to look like an orange, Just...
No.
You don't look like an orange, but you don't want to also like, you want to look pasty on the other
No,
side.
I think there's a middle ground though. I think you want to, because specifically for our engagement photos, I wore my glasses because I knew I had planned on wearing contacts for our wedding, and I wear glasses every single day. I normally don't wear contacts, so I wanted to look like me. I do think there is a like. You don't want to look so made up that you're unrecognizable. You still want to look like you, maybe just like an elevated version of yourself. So I do think that is something that people don't necessarily think about when they're like, I'm gonna put 5 pounds of makeup on my face for the day of. It's like, well, you still want to look like yourself, like, don't you?
For some people, that's their every day.
Oh gosh,
Who has the time or the energy?
I know.
I wore fake lashes on my wedding day, and I hated them. I
can't wear them. The lenses of my glasses.
I mean, this is why I wore contacts on my wedding day, Trish, because I had the same problem. I wore fake lashes, and I'm pretty sure like the moment the wedding was done, and I'm talking not even like the full wedding, but like most of the wedding, I was like, nope, whoosh, off of my face now. Because it was like you could see them. You could just see just like black like spiders just like hanging off of my face. I hated it. It was awful.
I don't understand why it's so acceptable to like glue shit onto your eye. Like, it's just nuts to me. Like,
I had to practice, Stuart. I had to practice doing it.
Oh my gosh. I say this is a fan of Drag Race. I've never understood like fake lashes and things like that. Like, unless they're like exaggerated to the point where they're like stupid and you can really see them. I'm like, I swear I don't notice. And I'm not sure if that's me just being such a like, oh my guy. But like, I've never gone, oh wow, you've got big lashes. Like,
I think it depends. I think it depends on normally how your lashes are. Because I don't have a lot of eyelashes to work with. Like, they're not full, they're not long. I have like almost none on the bottom. Like, they're just not there. And so like when you're getting professional photos taken on photos that you are going to look at for the rest of your life, and they're close-ups too, like there are some that are very close to your face. You kind of want to do something with your eyelashes. But they are hell. The devil created fake lashes and pantyhose.
If you're tall, pantyhose or tights, as we call them, are just awful.
Yes.
If you've got long legs, they're just not made for you.
They're not made for you, okay? As a child, I always had that saggy middle piece, and it was the worst. My mom used to also make me wear saddle pants. I don't know if anyone knows what saddle pants are. They may call them something different there. It's when they're stretchy pants, but there's like a loop of fabric that goes under your foot, and so they don't move up.
Pedal pushers, I think we call them.
Yeah, they're meant for like, I think they're intended to be
like
worn
leggings
while riding
with
horses
elastic
or
at the
something.
bottom.
Yeah, they're terrible. But anyway, this is a terrible spray tan. And poor Patrick, 9 showers.
Poor Patrick. But bless him for going along with it and still getting his photo taken.
Yeah.
And for going back to I think like huge brownie points for him just agreeing and going along with it. Because he was you could just tell he wasn't happy, bless him. He was just sitting there like, yeah, this is the best smile I'm going to do. Thank you.
I think my favorite thing about it is the fact that like Stevie came back like just slightly ahead of Patrick. So I imagine this like scene off camera of them pulling up and then Patrick just slowly getting out and walking along, where Stevie is like almost rushing ahead because she knows that she gets to see this like the reaction. And it's just when Stevie's messy like that, I really appreciate it. Like Stevie is hilarious when it comes to just the Schadenfreude of the whole situation. It's perfect.
I love her.
Although obviously Stevie knows the level of spray tan to get because she came in looking perfect.
Oh yeah.
So she should have helped Patrick a little bit more.
But then she'd miss out on this opportunity.
Oh yeah, that is true. It would have been so messy that way.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about what we don't want to talk about, which is the Ted and Alexis breakup. It is so.
Don't call it that.
It's so sad.
It's too soon.
It's on pause.
Sorry, they're on pause. They are on a break.
3 years.
They are paused for quite a while.
They're
Especially
on a break.
Because no, don't you? I'm triggering. It's so triggering. The thing is, it couldn't come at a worse time because Ted looks so good.
God, he looked good. Did I send you a message about it
did.
as I was watching? I think I did because
Ted
like,
and Alexis have.
I was like, whoa.
Yes, individually, they've both never looked better. They're like the hottest couple that's ever existed, and now they're broken up, and it's so awful.
Yeah, Alexis's outfit at the restaurant at the end,
yes,
and the way her hair was done and everything, she just looked absolutely gorgeous.
Looked great there. I will say I'm not too hot on the whole like
the grey fluffy jumper
thing that she was wearing. Yeah, it was that wasn't the best look, I will say. She looked great, but the top was just that wasn't the best. But by the end of it, like the pair of them were just stunning. Just film star level of just gorgeousness. And it was just unfair. But I feel like you kind of had to balance out the Patrick. It's like you can't have
because where's my eye candy this episode?
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's so sweet that he wants to come home for a long weekend to like have this conversation in person. I think that's like very lovely. Unfortunately, why he chose to drink milk on a plane, I'll never understand.
It was serving cookies.
Like, can you even order milk on a plane? I suppose they have it, but like, what? Why? Yuck.
Well, you serve like coffees and teas, so like
you get the milks to that size. It's the little UHT things, isn't it, that you get on airplanes that are they're not good. They don't taste like milk.
Is he just sipping one of those small ones, or is he like pouring them out to get like a full beverage? Yeah, it's just a bad choice. Like milk in that temperature, that pressure, I wouldn't trust it in the slightest. No. But bless him. I mean, they're serving cookies. He's a creature of habit, is our Ted.
I really loved how it came back. It gets mentioned so many times this episode, and I love that it comes back around at the end of the episode when they're eating mozzarella sticks for cheese lasagna.
And
cheesecake.
It's so much dairy. I love dairy.
As someone who's lactose intolerant, that was just like trigger.
Oh no.
That's just awful food for me. All of it.
Yeah.
I would say someone that's not lactose intolerant, top tier like cheat day meals. I would say.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna cheese out, and like I'm sure as someone that likes cheese, Jess, I'm sure you appreciated that, right?
Yes. Yeah. I would house that meal. I'm not a huge cheesecake fan, actually. But flavored cheesecake I can get down with most of the time. It's just like, I don't know, it's just like whatever. Like, give me real cake, you know? Anyway, sorry. The thing is they're so sweet about the entire. Alexis is so excited to see him. He really wants to have this conversation. She really wants to bang it out. So, they bang it out and then they have the conversation. And I feel like they both are able to come to the same conclusion of neither one of them wants the other to have to sacrifice what they have going on in their lives, right? Like there's no way Alexis would be happy in the Galapagos, and Ted can't just come back to Schitt's Creek with this offer on the table. It's his dream job. So I love that they both are in agreement of like, I would never ask you to make this sort of a sacrifice, even though it's so sad. And I really like that they threw it back to Alexis and running and going to Twyla for advice. Like, this does feel like an Alexis thing, right, Stuart? Like, that she will go to Twyla, and Twyla usually doesn't understand what's going on.
And like, even the whole, I'll do a smoothie, and she goes, "Oh no, I think I'll just take a smoothie." Like, the whole not listening to what Twyla is saying is like such a good callback, but I think like in a good way, because it's kind of showing that before it was because Alexis just didn't listen, was so self-consumed, and now it's actually wrestling with like quite a big thing that she's going through. And I think the way in which Twyla reacts to that was very sweet as well, because I think Twyla recognizes the growth in Alexis and recognizes that this isn't someone being rude. This is someone that actually just needs a bit of a moment. And I was there thinking, I don't know, like going into this episode and going to like how this season has been building and what I've been expecting to happen, I was like, it's happening. But the moment she like looked around and we got that flashback, I was like, oh, it's done. Like, nail in the coffin, it's over. Like, start mourning, Stuart. Get over it now, because it's going to wreck you in a bit. And it was just so sweet, because as well, like, we kind of saw them as just little babies. Like, they were so fresh faced. Like, Ted was clean shaven and dressed like an absolute preppy little nerd, and now he's this rugged vest wearing like Galapagos Island adventurer. And I was like, oh, they're so different. And as well, like, seeing how they changed from the fact that, like, in their first introduction, he's almost like adoring of her even before they've met. He's like, I know who you are. Like, there's already that kind of sense of admiration. And so to see how far they've come, I thought that was a great way of showing it. But it was just twisting the knife, right? I felt like it was so unnecessary. Don't do it, guys. Don't make me sad.
It showed Ted's glow up as well, though. The flashback, it was just like oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just so sweet, and it makes it so much worse that it's so amicable, and that they are both just like so sad. Like, I love the, like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'd like to think we helped each other get here. I know that we did. I don't know. I think maybe what made me the saddest was the can't say we didn't try. Like, because they did. Like, they really did. And it's not anyone's fault that it didn't work out. Long distance is hard, especially when there's no end in sight to it. Like, yes, there's a 3-year time on this job, but 3 years could turn into more. Like, who's to say? And you can't just hit pause on your life. You know, like, they both want to do things with their lives that they're not going to be able to do when they're so focused on trying to connect with one another long distance and like make time for phone calls when, you know, Ted doesn't exactly have reliable internet over there. I love it. They both say I love you, and I love her just like getting up and like sitting next to him and then clinking the glasses. It does feel very special, Trish, that it's at the diner. Especially because that's where he planned their little recent anniversary dinner thing, and the fact that it's Twyla serving them, it just feels very right that that's where it's happening.
Yeah. I think it's a special place for everyone in Schitt's Creek, but I think especially Ted and Alexis. It's the place where they had most of their meets whenever they were, and it's their meet cute place as well. It's where they first saw each other. So I think it's just the perfect sort of place and setting, and it was set up lovely. And I did like the fact it was like, did you pay to book out the restaurant? She was, no, I just went round and asked people to leave just to make it so it was just us.
Forcefully so. Yeah, I never noticed that, like, it really is that, like, it's their venue in a way. Like, it's always got the support of Twyla with it, but like, yeah, it's where they kind of had their meet cute. It's where they've had like the final dinner and the kind of date before with the laptop. But it's also where they had the speed dating as well, wasn't it? Where Ted turned up and they had that moment. So,
yeah,
it's their place.
It's over.
Yeah.
But that does mean that Alexis is on the market, which is like news to everyone. So is Ted, actually. I mean, the pair of them on the market.
Yeah.
Jake's gonna have a field day.
with the penguins and the Galapagos, so there's not much there.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, but it is one of those breakups where you kind of like, to your point, Stuart, you saw this coming. I feel like it was pretty well advertised that like with Ted leaving and Alexis's business taking off, it never was going to make sense for either one of them to move, to each other. I mean, you do see it coming, but it doesn't make it any less sad because they are such a lovely couple. Like I really think both of them, that's why I love that line of like, we helped each other get here, because they really did help each other grow. And so it's still really sad to see it end. We get our like very happy ending couple of like David and Patrick, but then to not have Alexis and Ted be together as we're barreling towards the finale is really difficult, especially because Ted is looking so freaking good.
That's another sad thing about it. Is I'm not sure, is this gonna be the last we see of Ted? Like, I'd be really sad if that is the case. And if it is, like, I mean, I'm gonna shout him out now. Like, Dustin Milligan is like amazing, so supremely funny, an absolute snack to look at. But like, as Ted has been a delight of a character, and so I think if this is the send off for Ted, then I'm happy for it, because like it's great to go out in such a mature way, a great way of setting an example of what two mature minds or like heads can do when it comes to like dealing with such a kind of difficult situation like this. And yeah, like props to them for the whole can't say we didn't try thing, because yeah, it's been signposted like in the writing. I think we've seen it coming. I can't imagine the characters hadn't seen this coming. I mean, it's got to be in there at the back of their minds at the very least. So for them to like actually acknowledge that they tried is a testament to how much they do love each other. And I think that it's says a lot. And just circumstances, maybe under different things, maybe it could have worked out. But for now, I think I'm glad that we're not getting, I don't know, somebody straight story about like, oh, Alexis has to choose her career or the boyfriend. It's like, no, neither of them really do that whole thing. And they're like, no, personal growth is more important in this whole thing for each other, and for the both of them to acknowledge it. I think it's a great way of having like an equity in the whole relationship, and it not be one doting over the other as other shows might have done.
Yeah, I think it's nice as well that they had the breakup in person as well, rather than it being like trying to stretch it out and make it happen over the internet and keep trying to contact each other, realizing too late even that this isn't working, and maybe it being a little bit of a less nice breakup, but still a breakup. I think being face to face with each other, I think, made it just a little bit more special for them.
Yeah. And they didn't wait until the last episode either, like they didn't wait until the finale. Like I also appreciate that, because it's just like they could have held off, and they didn't. So
that's the thing. Yeah, give everything its like room to breathe. I think that if this is shoehorned into the finale, where I'm guessing we're gonna have to wrap up like David and Patrick's like story, Stevie's like story, Moira and Johnny's story, like Jocelyn and Roland, like everyone's going to have that like finale moment, or at least like story wrap up. And so I think like if you're trying to shoehorn it all into what I'm assuming is a regular length episode, I'm not sure if we have a longer episode in the finale, but there's only so much time, and we got like a big chunk of Ted and Alexis here, and I'm like, let that shit breathe. Like it can come earlier, and I think also it feels more organic to like real life. In that shit happens and it doesn't time with a season finale. Like stuff happens mid-season, which I think adds to the realism of everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else before we dive into some feedback that we got?
Did we mention that they look good? I can't remember if we did.
So good. Can't handle it. Alexis, I love Alexis's wavy hair. I think it looks so pretty that way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some feedback. We got an email from listener Kim, who says, "Hey, Jess and Stuart, I was getting ready to start my 5th run of watching the show, and I found your podcast. I've been binging it along with the show, and I'm now caught up. So excited to experience the last half of the final season along with you in real time. Stuart, you deserve a gold star for your patience in only being able to watch 1 episode per week. And Jess, you have done a great job at not mentioning spoilers, and you have a great poker face when Stuart guesses what's coming up. I'd have a hard time not smiling knowing what's on the horizon. Great. Keep up the great work and best wishes to you both."
Amazing.
I
Can't help but
love
know acknowledge gold star for me, but no gold star for you, Jess. So, just
Listen,
saying.
it's a metaphorical gold star. So I have a great poker face, which I've never been told in my entire life. So pats on the back to me.
I feel like you do have a good poker face. I don't feel as if you've spoiled anything other than the presence of Patrick, which I think everyone's spoiled for me.
You
Yeah.
can blame me.
Difficult not to hide. Difficult to hide a pretty major character.
Yeah.
Especially because
exactly.
it's so obvious when he shows up that he's going. It's not like he shows up once and then he comes back, and it's like, no, he's there and he is there. So it's very obvious.
Yeah. It's not like an Amir who turns up and you're like, well, you're going to be a short story arc.
Yeah. Yeah. We also got an email from Libby. Where to begin? Didn't love David this episode. Another podcast I listened to a while back pointed out that Moira had just talked to him about paying attention to Patrick's subtle notes. He wasn't even being subtle. It's not that it's this first time we see the Roses doing things like this, and David is definitely his family, but usually it blows up in their faces. Here it blew up in Patrick's, like literally no. I think that's my issue. Now Alexis and Ted, I have mixed feelings about this storyline. Part of me thinks they still could have made it work. 3 years really isn't that long of a time. 2022 was 3 years ago. Good God, why are you doing this to me, Libby?
Don't acknowledge that.
On the other hand, often these contracts end up extending beyond the original X amount of years, and we saw how much trouble they were having connecting virtually. I think the breakup itself was beautifully handled. No fighting, no anger, no petty misunderstandings, just 2 people who loved each other but had gone down separate paths. That said, in my head, they end up back together for sure. What do you think about that, Stuart?
I mean, yeah, I completely agree. Like, there is this, they could have waited. They could have, I don't know, 3 years. Maybe they could have made it work. I mean, they tried and they were not necessarily coping that well, but they were coping better than I thought they would. So maybe there is that. But on the other hand, yeah, I mean, we're talking about people who are in opposite directions of trajectory with their careers and their lives, really. So I think that, yeah, it makes sense. As for the headcanon, though, of them potentially come back together, I mean, a return to Schitt's Creek, Ted has to come back. I know maybe he's selling up his place. Maybe they cross paths. It could totally happen. I'm sure the fan fiction exists out there in the world of it. Or maybe, I don't know, if a film comes along, surely, Dan Levy, what are you doing? Make a film. Do a follow-up to this. Come on, buddy.
Make a reunion, please.
Yeah, you're not busy with a new Netflix show or anything like that.
Definitely
Come on.
not.
Well, if Downton Abbey can do it, I suppose Schitt's Creek can do it too.
Downton Abbey will never stop. They can't stop, won't stop. Never ending. Good God. Yeah, I think it's tough. I think 3 years is different depending on where you are in your life, how old you are, how long you've been together. There are so many factors that I think that 3 years it looks different to different people. And I just don't think, I think they both want to focus on their careers, and being with that, we saw them trying to connect and it just wasn't happening. You're just going to make it harder in the long run on yourselves. Maybe they reconnect later. There's always that potential. I can't imagine Ted never coming back to Schitt's Creek. He has family there, it's not like he's never coming home. So yeah, it's sad, but I do think it's the mature decision on both their parts.
I just looked up flights as well. We're talking 2 stops and at best 15 hours of travel.
Oh my, that's a lot.
Yeah. Even if it's 3 years and you can see each other occasionally, Ted was not wrong. 3 flights is it's a lot.
Travel.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of milk to get through as well.
Oh, gross.
Oh, don't, please.
Nasty. Moving on from that, let's get into our ratings, where we're going to say who is simply the best and who is the disgruntled pelican. gosh, honestly, but in the simply the best category, it's like really hard between Ted and Alexis. I think they both are like just so mature in the decisions they're making. I think because I'm picking nits when it comes to making this call, I'm gonna go with the person who didn't drink milk on a flight, and I'm just gonna go with Alexis. Even though I think they both are easy picks for this, I'm gonna go with Alexis for my simply the best point.
I'm gonna tactically vote. I'm gonna go for Ted. Like I feel like we've got to ensure at least both of them get 1 point.
You're really putting Trish in a bad spot.
And then to put the guest on the spot, really, but also like to pitch this another way to give Trish the flexibility to choose whoever Trish wants.
You're so kind and generous, Stuart.
I mean, I don't have to make one the winner. I could just leave it as one each and go for someone else.
It's true.
Because it was, I was thinking about Ted and Alexis and how perfect they handled that situation and how well it was. But I also had down Patrick for just putting up with all of David's nonsense and just sitting there and still going through with it, even though everyone knew that he didn't want to do it in the first place. When it happened, it went wrong, and now he let himself be photographed, so there's evidence of what he looked like forever.
Yeah. That's awful.
So I think Patrick for me. So there you go. So no one gets an extra vote.
And Patrick gets a point. This really is the best possible option. I love it. Okay, in terms of the disgruntled pelican, I mean, David's really bad.
This one's really obvious, I think.
It's really bad. Like, there's no one like I'm not getting on Jocelyn and Roland's case. I do think they deserve a break. I do think they deserve a weekend away. So I don't think anything they do is particularly bad. I mean, Moira puts up a big stink if you're like reaching for other people to choose, but like making your pasty fiance go get a spray tan and giving him zero instruction on how to do it correctly, and then still making him take photos, like honestly all very bad on David. So yeah, I'm gonna giving it to him. He was bad this episode. Bad David.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's David. I was like kind of toying with the possibility. Like it feels like a bit of a cop out, but like Ray, purely for having the worst aesthetic in the world, pushing nice mats. And thinking like a fairground background for a wedding thing is appropriate. But yeah, it's a cop out because I know it has to go to David for me. Like it's just egregious behavior.
And David chooses to go to Ray too. So like, even if we can get on Ray's case for being awful, you're choosing to pay this man to take photos. What are you doing? What are you thinking? It's not good.
Ray was on my list as another option, but I did feel like it was a bit of a cop out because I don't like giving negative points to David, but he doesn't get them that often. But
he really just earned them this time. Like
I did also have Moira on my list because of her shenanigans. She's been with the doors and the hot water and just like manipulating Johnny.
The screaming at the water was hilarious. And then when he told to just remove her hand, she's like, but how will I know when it heats up? Like, so good.
I didn't think there was taps like that in America where the hot and the cold were separate. I thought they all had mixers because I know I've seen so many videos of like Americans coming to the UK and like, what is with this? But the taps are separate.
The American version to old two taps is like something I get it. It's annoying and it's dumb and like it doesn't make sense, but just get over it. It's not the biggest thing in the world.
Just get over it.
Because I could see Jess just boiling there, with just waiting to chime in.
Just like, why do you need two sinks? Like, you need one, just the one, and it becomes medium hotness.
Because our homes were built before common sense. Because we have history.
My granny's tap was cold, and the hot water was a tank beside the sink, separate, because it was plumbed before central heating.
Gosh!
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There you go. We've got very old plumbing.
Yeah. All right, well let's tier rank this episode here. Because it hurts.
Mm-hmm. This is,
It's a
I think, a really
painful
tough one to
It's
rank.
difficult.
Like,
Yeah.
because we talk about the Venn diagram of like plot progression, comedy, and what's the other thing? Something
Plot
else that's very
progression,
important.
comedy, and like if it's warm fuzzies.
Warm fuzzies, yeah. And in a way, this had warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
Had big plot progression. Had some really good, funny moments. Like Moira killed me with the reactions in like the hotel room, and like the like absolutely just falling into Johnny with like the door frame was really good. Jocelyn's "it was too taut" line actually made me cackle.
Yeah.
Like
It is good.
because it was so unexpected. Even the JFK impersonations, I really thought, as much as the presidential suite kind of like aspect of it was a bit kind of like of a plot, actually, I thought that brought a lot of the comedy. Plus, you get the orange spray tan as well, which was hilarious. So I feel like that's really strong. So really, logically, I should say it goes in hot shit, but I'm still thinking full bouquet.
That's where my gut was leaning, was full bouquet. Because I agree with you with the warm fuzzies and the heartbreaking moment of like the Ted and Alexis, but like you're so conflicted, right? Because it's like it's bittersweet. You're so proud of them as characters for making that decision while it's still very heartbreaking to watch. I just think that the spray tan and the presidential suite, I don't love those storylines. I just like them. Because I think they're really fun pops of moments with Moira specifically and the presidential suite, and then like the spray tan just being like a silly sight gag. But I don't think there's enough substance of me loving those for it to qualify for a hot shit. So yeah, I would lean full bouquet as well. What do you think, Trish?
Yeah, my first instinct was full bouquet before either anyone spoke, because as you say, it's got good moments. Each storyline has good moments, but there's nothing, you don't think that all of them are equally brilliant. I mean, it's definitely the Ted and Alexis that is the one.
Yeah.
It's the main storyline, and that's
It
the one
stands
that you
out.
sort of are left thinking about more than the other two.
Yeah. Yeah.
As funny as Patrick's color was.
Poor guy.
It's really strange how, like, I don't know, like, who comes up with the names for these episodes? Because it's always like the BC plot that is
That has
named
the
after
name.
the episode.
Well, they couldn't call it the breakup, could they? Because that's too spoilery. They have to give a name that's something that
the plain milk.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
An unexpected.
The spray tan, honestly, would have probably even been better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or the photo shoot.
No, I agree. The names aren't usually anything to be super excited about.
Which makes my life as guessing these incredibly difficult.
Well, we have our first episode in full bouquet for the season, which is interesting given it took us 8 episodes to get here. But yeah. And then as for next episode, Stuart, the title is Rebound.
Oh. Are we going out to the club? Are we gonna see the whole, like, I don't know, back trick it all over again? Like
the finger down the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Or is it gonna be people trying to push Alexis to get a rebound or something? I don't know. I hate this idea, but I hate that it came to my mind. Does Mutt return? Do we get a rebound there? Like, are we gonna see it come full circle? I hope not. Not.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get Jake in there. You know, he's up in everyone's
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. So can everyone else.
Saddle up.
Always when I think of breakups and TV shows, I remember Chandler is like he's in the when he was in the sweatpants stage, and I was like, does Alexis even own sweatpants? I mean, she goes running, but she goes running in like yoga trousers, doesn't she?
Yeah, Lululemons, not the Lulu Limes.
Yeah,
you got to borrow them from Jocelyn.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens next episode. I can't believe it. We are getting way too close to the finale. We only have 6 episodes left.
It's outrageous.
But that's okay. we're just gonna dissociate and not think about that right now. But thank you so much, Trish, for coming on again and chatting with us. It's a really great episode. It was really fun to chat it all through with you. And
Yeah,
a fellow pasty face here to talk about
yes.
not being able to tan properly.
Yeah, definitely.
Stuart, anything else you need to shout out? I don't think so. I think right.
Not that I know of. Yeah, super secret project is still super secret and being worked on as we keep talking about that. What else? I mean, I finished Dark. It was a lot. Binged the hell out of that, and I'm back on the Survivor train. Woo woo! Australia versus the World is amazing. Yeah, and that's going to be over soon as well. So I'll be back on Bad Survivor soon. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Anything you want to let the people know about, Trish? Anything else you want to say? Any recommendations for anything you've been watching, listening to, anything like that?
No, I have been watching a lot of Korean TV lately, which has been quite
Ooh.
interesting. Korean cooking shows are very interesting,
Ooh.
especially when you
Oh.
don't know the food and you're actually learning as you go along about actually how they cook things and things.
What kind of vibe do they give off? Are they more Great British Baking Show where it's like quiet and serene, or are they more like American cooking where everyone's
It's
screaming
more
at
Iron
everyone?
Chef. I would
Okay.
say is more of
Oh.
the vibe of Iron Chef.
Interesting.
It's,
Okay.
what was it called? Culinary Class Wars is what it's called. It's on Netflix. I've
Ooh.
been watching a lot of that. It's really good. Been
Sounds
enjoying it.
interesting. Awesome. Well, everyone check that out.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with some more Schitt's Creek talking about Rebound. So until then, everyone, warmest regards.
And best wishes.
Tweet us on Facebook or leave us a review, and you say, yeah, okay, I think I will.